Yesterday was quite an interesting day in Washington, D.C. I don't think I can take the hypocrisy of John Boehner for a second more. Yesterday, he won the speakership and then went on to immediately say, we got to listen and respond to the American people.
Then get out.
Yeah.
Because that's what the American people want.
Then he immediately went after the guys who went after him and stripped them of all their power.
Daniel Webster and Richard Nugent have been removed from the very prestigious House Rules Committee. Just like that. I mean, that quickly.
So they were placed on that committee because, in theory, they were the best men for the job. Mm-hmm. And now they apparently lost that ability to handle the rules in the last 24 hours.
Either that or they dared oppose the speaker.
Right. I mean, aren't they supposed to at least hide that they're playing political games?
No, they don't care anymore. They don't care anymore.
I guess not, because that was swift, boy.
Yeah, they don't care. So the people there's a list of 25. Go to glennbeck.com and you'll find it there. But we went over it yesterday. There's 25 people that were on this list yesterday that I think really had courage.
Yeah, bold and brave enough to vote for somebody other than Boehner.
Yeah.
Yesterday it would have taken, I think, 35, right? Isn't that the number we landed on? Mm-hmm. Would have taken around 35 to remove him, but that didn't happen. But this was the strongest challenge to a party's sitting Speaker of the House since the Civil War. So it was significant. It was, and he's embarrassed by it, and that's why Webster and Nugent were removed yesterday, just like that, because he's pissed off and he's embarrassed, and that's who he is. He should be embarrassed.
If it wasn't for Cuomo and the funeral yesterday, they would have been one vote away from making it happen.
Yeah,
one vote. Now we have a lot of friends. Mia Love voted for John Boehner.
Mm-hmm. It was weird.
I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I mean, what happened to you, Mia? Chris Stewart, who had the cojones to come in on the show yesterday, and I hammered him. And I hammered him because he's my friend. I told him I would. If I felt that you were going off the rails and I didn't understand what you were doing and you were starting to play the Washington game, and I told him that in 2012. Look, Chris, don't go. I told him, don't go. You'll lose your soul. Don't go. I've never met anybody. This is Orrin Hatch said this to somebody once. I've never met anybody who was a better man when they left Washington than when they arrived.
Nobody knows that better than Orrin Hatch.
You got that right. You got that right. And you're like, Orrin, are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to yourself? So we're concerned about our friends. Yesterday, really concerned, and Chris Stewart gets on, and he wasn't even saying, Glenn, I'm just, because I can understand. I started the break yesterday before I knew he was going to be on with us. I started the break with, let's look at it from a different point of view, a different perspective. And what I was going to say is, let's look at it. You're in Washington, and you're Mia Love. You're Chris Stewart. And you think there's no way this is going to happen. Why put your name on a sinking ship? Why do that? But that doesn't put you on the air then. Defending John Boehner.
Staunchly defending.
Staunchly.
Telling us we're wrong on every point.
On John Boehner. And we're not wrong. And we looked it all up. We're not wrong. So he's coming on today, and I would assume that this is going to go better than it was yesterday, because he was delightful all day yesterday. Me, not so much. I was fulfilling my obligation as a friend, I believe. But I also was probably, because he's my friend, I was probably much more harsh than I would have been with somebody else.
And because we were in the heat of the battle being pissed off about this thing going down the way it was.
Yeah.
So today, we understand it happened. It's over now. Hopefully cooler heads can prevail. But, it seemed to be the kind of Washington games we were warning him about. This is just exactly what we didn't want you to get involved in. And you said you wouldn't.
If you're such a good guy, there is no retribution. If you're such a good guy, you come out and say, look, I understand. This is a very diverse party, and we got to work together. And I understand that tensions run high. I'm going to show you that there is no hard feelings.
And there will be no repercussions.
Wouldn't
that have been a big thing to do for John Boehner?
A big man.
John Boehner is a good guy.
You would have changed hearts. You would have somebody would have said, you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Hang on. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Instead, he plays typical politics and punishes those. What is the difference? I mean this sincerely. What is the difference between Barack Obama saying our enemies have to be punished and John Boehner punishing his enemies?
Yeah, nothing.
Zero. There's nothing.
He is who we said he was.
Yes.
However, that was yesterday, and for us, it's a bad day. I would say the results were bad. For a lot of, for most of the Republican Party, it was good as far as politicians go. And so now we get, they got what they wanted, and we get to hear what they're going to do. And then we get to monitor if they do it correctly.
I ordered some shirts for you guys, by the way, yesterday.
You did? The defund shirts?
The defund shirts.
Nice.
They're nice, aren't they?
Yeah, they're really nice looking.
Yeah. We put them up on the, and I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, we might just pocket the money. Yes, we might just do that. Capitalist society. But I also am considering saving all this money and then just donating it to, like, Ted Cruz's campaign. Defund the GOP. It's a new T-shirt, just has a cool elephant. Strangely, the elephant looks almost communistic. And it just says defund under it. Go home, you're drunk, the party's over. You can get it at glennbeck.com. Defund the GOP T-shirt.
Ted Cruz could certainly use the donation. He's going to need some help
Mike Lee.
if and when he runs.
Mike Lee is in trouble.
Mike Lee, yeah.
Heard this morning, Chris Christie